Hi, Dagbert from Dagbert's Tackle World here with this week's fishing report, the 25th, 6th and 27th of October 2024. Okay, my faithful sidekick Stewie, I'm missing him actually, he's not here, only because we're busy. Anyhow, Stewie, you are up the reef at the moment on Big Cat Reality. Can't wait to hear your story next week when you come back. Until then, folks, it's me. Okay, so let's talk about the offshore fishing first. Well, I can't believe this, but at this stage, Saturday looks like it's going to be an awesome day. So we've got a top wind of about 10 knots. So it's going to be blowing subtly in the morning. That's going to be the strongest, probably around about 5 or 6 o'clock. 10 knots from the south, might be blowing a little, maybe 14 or 15 knots out wider. But it will drop out during the day. Sort of like midday is about 7 knots. Starts to swing around to the east. And then it just sort of hangs east all day at about 6 or 7 knots. So hey, it looks really good. The water's really clear. There is so much bait offshore. I was out there yesterday, only out to like 50 metres, but there was bait everywhere. There was little tuna jumping everywhere. There was slimies on the surface. There were long-tailed tuna jumping at certain areas out of the water, chasing bait around, little flying fish in close, and it was just going off. Plus, the fish were biting not too bad as well. So we'll start out wide. Now, there is a game competition on this weekend with the Gold Coast Game Fish Club. And it's the Irish Shootout marlin competition. So it doesn't matter if you're fishing heavy tackle, light tackle, as there's different categories inside of 150 metres and outside, and every marlin I think is worth 1,000 points. So got to fish the line class in 8, 10 and 15 kilo, and out wide I think it's 24, 37 and 60 kilos. So if you want to fish a marlin comp and want to get out there and have a fat time, and with a great club, get down to the Gold Coast Game Fish Club and or jump onto their Facebook page and have a look and enter in early. But I think it's on Saturday. It's a one-day only comp, okay? So Saturday looks like the better day this weekend. So that will be on, I dare say. So other than that, look, I'd definitely be trolling around for striped marlin and blue marlin out wide. I'd definitely be deep dropping out wide. The bite period this weekend is pretty good, folks. It's around about that sort of 70% early morning bite and late afternoon bite. And yeah, it looks pretty good, so definitely worth a crack. The current at the moment, I checked it a couple of days ago, it looked like it was about between 1.2 and 1.8 knots, so it's not too bad. But if that current comes in a bit closer, it may get a bit stronger over the weekend, but we're just going to wait and see on that one. Okay. Then in a bit closer from the deep dropping, I would definitely try for dolphin fish on the 50 fathom reef. They're big dollies at the moment. You may just have to look around for something floating on the surface and go hard on it. But the good thing is that with the fads gone, not that we want them gone, but they are gone. The only good thing is that people are now trolling skirts again. And skirts just catch fish, as we all know, but we've got a bit lazy. We all start fishing the fads. We catch little dollies when we should be probably trolling skirts around and catching bigger dollies. And that's what happens when you start trolling little skirts around with this type of thing here. So these little fellows here, troll those around on sort of whatever, 15, 24 kilo, whatever you got, a braid, doesn't matter. And around that sort of 85 to 100 metre mark, the zigzag in between it. And obviously running down south from up north and along the 36 fathom line as well, in that sort of 65 to 70 metres. And you'll catch big dolphin fish. And that's the difference. If you troll skirts, you get good dollies. You get the odd little one, but not many. It's sort of a metre plus. But you fish the fads, you get all the little ones, right? And the odd big ones. So get those skirts out, get out there, troll them, because this is the time of the year we get our big dolphin fish, and give that a crack. Bottom jigging, holy geez, I tell you, the jigging up on that 50 fathom reef northeast at the moment is just going off. There's Samson, a few Samson now, a lot of amberjack, and a few kingies, and we're getting guys that are catching fish that are 20 kilos, like 20 kilo kingies. The ones that are losing, obviously, even bigger. So it's pretty cool at the moment. Jigging those sort of 200, 250 gram jigs, very, very productive. A few snapper around it there as well. Pearlie's been really good, especially on the outside edge of the 50s in that 120 metre mark. Little bar cod and a few nannies and stuff like that as well. And a few jobfish as well, rosy jobs. So not big ones, but not too bad size. Yeah, little bar cod and comet cod. So give that a crack, that's good as well. In on the 36 fathoms, as I said before, dollies definitely, and also snapper. So snapper have been great. Doesn't matter if you're fishing up off the pin or down off Tweed, the snapper all the way along. They're still around. The water temp at the moment is around about 23, maybe 23 and a half, but down below it's obviously a bit cooler, and the snapper don't seem to mind it at the moment. In closer on the 24s, obviously we fished there yesterday. We had a quadruple hookup on Kings, Black King. Got one up, it was 28 kilos. Liam did really well. Good fish, Liam. And they were like, we could see them free swimming under the boat. They were 30 kilo plus, some of them. So there's a lot of kingies out there, Black King that is, cobia. And I had a few customers in the last couple of days showing me the photos of the cobia they're called. So the whales are on their way back heading south again. And with that comes the bigger kingies. So the way up in May was when the kingies start. And then we used to have a bit of a lapse for about 2 months till they come back in November, October. And we get the bigger kingies because they've grown up. They're sailing all the way up north with the whales now swimming back down again, and they tend to be bigger size. And generally in November, it was always the thing before the mackerel started to catch a big kingy, big black king that is. And they're here ready. They haven't actually left us, I don't think. They've been here for 6 months. But they're definitely on in numbers at the moment. So anywhere along that 50 metre line into about 30 metres, 35 metres is Kingy City. There's also still longtail tuna around. I can't believe that either. And the snapper have been a bit quiet the last couple of weeks. I'm not quite sure why, but there's still snapper out there. There's still some big donkeys out there too, like 90 centimetres. So give that a crack as well. And plenty of tailor and plenty of trade due out on that sort of 48, 50 metre line as well. And good size tailor. If you're into tailor, they're like 50 centimetre ones. They're good size. Okay, spanner crabs. Hey, spanner crabs have been good too. I just checked back on some of my old photos got on Facebook, and it was actually this time last year and the year before that we did really well on the really good size spanners. So give that a go as well. If you want to chuck down some jigs and have a little crack for snapping that in close with slow pitch jigs, or just put one of these in the rod holder, they'll catch anything and everything. Grinners too, unfortunately, but they do work really well. Personally, we've been using these. We're just using pillies on even our kings. Now, we're not actually fishing liveys at all. We're just using this sort of rig here with about a sort of 1 ounce Lumo sinker straight above it, and doing really well. Or we're running a rig like this type of rig here. This rig works really well, and it's on fluorocarbon, and we're just running a Lumo sinker straight above it, sitting right on top of the hook with a half pilly. I actually use a 3/4 pilly. I cut the tail off, actually just rip it off, and put the 2 snelled hooks in on the pilly. They work really, really well. And yeah, that's better for offshore. The weather is really good on Saturday, as I said, 10 knots. Sunday morning, you'll get out there in close, especially the close reefs, up to about 8 or 9 o'clock. It looks like it's really good as well. And then a strong northerly comes in at around about, I think around about 15 or 20 knots by early morning, mid-morning. Friday, which is tomorrow, which is the 25th of October, there's a strong southerly coming in tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow midday, and it sort of runs to about midnight on Friday night. So it's about 25 knotters. So I probably can go ashore tomorrow, that's for sure. Okay, so keep it Saturday and Sunday. Swell's about 1.5 metres as well. And as you see when you get out there, the water's extremely clear. Okay, inshore at the jumping pin area, there's been some really good jewies in the jumping bar, inside the bar, but you've only got that sort of hour window. Low tide this weekend is around about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And look, you might get an afternoon fish on that high tide or on the low tide mid-morning. Fish of live mullet or whole squid or whatever you want to do for the jewies. They don't mind either or. And give that a go. Live slimies and yak is obviously very good, but you've got to go ashore to get them and come back in. And give that a go. Flathead wise, look, it's going to be northerlies on Sunday. So Sunday you can fish Kalinga Bank and maybe over around the Pandanus and Tipler's Channel area. On Saturday though, you've got light winds, you can fish anywhere. So Saturday is obviously the pick of day for flatties. I'd definitely be trying the deep around Kalinga Bank, over on end of Crusoe Island on Tank Bank, which is on the northeastern corner of Crusoe, and maybe even Millionaire's Row, give that a go. There's a lot of snags there, but there's a lot of big flatties too, so take your pick. On the high tide, sort of late in the afternoon, maybe have a crack up on top of Gold Bank or something like that, on top of those shallow banks, and cast some big minnows around. Whiting been really good at the pin area as well. Again, around the bedroom, which is around Pandanus Island, definitely along Kalinga Bank, definitely around Crusoe on that flat bank, on Tank Bank, and maybe up the back blocks, sort of heading up back of Tiger Mullet Channel, give that a go as well. Crabs, look, there's been a few sand crabs in around the bedroom again and around Tippler's Channel. Give that a go if you want to chase some sandies. Not many, but a few, and they're decent size. Muddies, haven't heard much, even though I had a bit of rain there last week. Didn't seem to do much for the muddies, but there are a few around, and those people who know how to do it will be catching them, I do think. Okay, down the Broadwater end of town, the water down here has been exceptionally clean in the seaway. There are flatties in the seaway along that north wall, and give that a crack from the opening there in the north wall back down to the timber at the end of sort of South Stratty, but where the rocks finish and the timber starts. Give that a go. Definitely around Crab Island and around the banks adjacent to Effron and Sovereign Island. All those banks, those little channels, as the tides drop, and fish those edges in the morning, okay? When it gets low tide, definitely look for any drains. It's sort of the last bit running out of the drains, off the sandbanks. And as the tide starts to push in, look where it flows over the bank and out through the drains, and fish those areas as well. Look, if I was going to go for whiting fish on this weekend, it's going to be high tide at the river about probably about 5:30 actually on Saturday. There's a really, really good tide for whiting up the Nerang River around the Arts Centre, or HOT, or whatever you call it these days, the old council chambers. Just all you need is some beach worms, guys. Beach worms are for yabbies. If you got the luxury of going to get some crib island worms, grab them. But beach worms will do the job fine, and you need to be up there around about probably 5 o'clock before it gets dark, and fish that last hour of the run in and the first 2 or 3 hours of the run out, probably to about 8 o'clock at night, and give that a crack to get some whiting, that's for sure. If you want to get them during the day, try up around Carrara to Benoa Waters, that area, and just sort of move. Look for the ripples on the river, which is where there's a little ripple across the river, which is like a sandbar dropping down, or rock bar, whatever it may be, and fish those ripples, okay? You get a lot of bream annoying you, but you'll get some good whiting as well. On the beach this weekend, like, beaches are going to be not too bad actually. So the swell's about 1.5 meters, like I said, 1.4. So there's been a few bit bigger dart. I was speaking to a guy today, got some nice dart. He said find the ones he could keep around that 40 plus centimetre size. Just down the spit, I'd be definitely trying for whiting down the spit, close to on the southern side of the sand pump jetty, and perhaps down around Narranac and further south around Miami, Mermaid Beach area for the whiting. Give those a go. A few dart as well. Tail have been not too bad. They've been big tail, and had a very long tailor season this year as well. It'd be definitely worth a crack just on dark, early morning and late afternoon along the beach. If you find a good gutter, just give it a go. Spinning for tail, look, if you see birds working, definitely worth a go, or you see bait, but otherwise it'd probably just throw a pilly out. That's probably about it for the Broadwater. In the canals, the mangrove jacks have been really good. So plenty of mangrove jacks. They're just obviously starting, but they're definitely around. If you want to chase them on lures, I'd be definitely using things like this type of thing. It's the new Stees we just got in from Daiwa. These have just got jacks written all over them. Let's grab these here, put them in my hand, like this type of thing here. Fumbling. That type of thing there. That's like a jack lure which you cast out on the pontoons and just pull it, just steady wind, and just burn it back to you along the front of pontoons if you've got luxury of having a boat. If you haven't got a boat, definitely cast them around bridges and any other pontoons you can access. This time of the year too, great work casting poppers, so that late afternoon high tide, and if it's not too windy on Saturday, which I don't think it will be in the afternoon, I'd be definitely getting in your boat, looking for any splashing on the walls, and look for any jacks that might be feeding late in the afternoon on that high tide, on that type of thing there, or this type of thing here. It's about as small as poppers I'd use. But definitely got plenty of splash and plenty of commotion and good hooks ready to roll. The new Shimano one's a flash boost. Really, really good. Guys, the other thing too, I just want to say, if you're going to have a cast of plastics, there's a couple of new colours in the diesel minnows. The Bloody Mary Sunday, that fellow there has got jacks written all over that as well. I know it's going to work. Just burn that along the edge of the pontoons as well. Calico Candy, it's just a guaranteed win of that one. They're very good. And if I was going to also fish for jacks, it's worth casting. I use these on flatties all the time, and they just smash it. They work up the reef on trout, but they just work really well everywhere, I think. But big shrimps like that type of thing there will definitely work. Casting them with a light, like about a 1/6 or 1/8 in a 4/0 hook attached to them, which you get rid of those beadless hooks, and put a 1/8 or 1/6 in those. Cast on the edge of the pontoons, let it work down, and just slow wind, or just hop it a little bit, tiny little bit. I forget to mention about the flatties before. is if you're going to go around those Crab Island and around those drains I was talking about earlier, opposite Sovereign Island, these things absolutely are dynamite over that area there. And if it is for some reason windy, like Sunday, say for example, I'd be definitely trolling lures. Like this is probably my go-to, as I say every week. The S-Tackle, those fellas there are just really good. There's about 10 colours, but they're 3 of my favourite colours that I like to use. They're very, very good. And if you're going to go whiting fish, like I was saying, get yourself some beach worms, but you can use like brine worms. These are the worms we sell, and we sell lots of these, and I do use these. These do work very well, and I caught, I don't know how many whiting, lots on those worms. They work very, very well, and those worms are very tough, okay? Hook-wise, keep it to about a size 4 or 6 in your favourite, medium shank, long shank, whatever it may be. Keep to that, and they'll work really, really well. Okay, let's go into the freshwater scene now. So, look, the Hin's Dam's been fishing pretty good. You just need to find those schooled up bass, whether it be the west arm or east arm. I like the east side myself, down the back, sort of south of the water tower. And if you want to get there early morning, maybe cast and spin a base up on the bank, give them a go. Very, very good. Or use a surface lure. These are tailor-made. They've been around for years. This guy's been making them forever. Great bass lures. Or troll. So if you see the bait sort of in that sort of 30-foot mark, or whatever it may be, 20 foot down, these get down about 6 or 8 metres. And troll something like that fellow. Those fellows there, RMG scorpions, very, very good. And they catch bass, and very, very popular for years as well. So other than that, get down the lower reaches of the Coombe River and the Nerang River. Above the crossings, like where the weirs are, above that, but below the wall in the Nerang River, and in the Coomera above the weir, if that makes sense. And plenty of bass in that area as well this time of the year. Give that a go. And even if there's little ponds around, you may find as well, sort of around upper Coomera area. Okay, guys, we're running a competition, and we are running a competition with Tackle World as a whole in Australia. With TT. So if you purchase any TT product over the next sort of few weeks, doesn't matter if they're jig heads or leader or plastics or whatever, they have an array of brands. And you go into, you just follow the prompts. There's a little QR code down here. You scan that, send in a photo of your receipt, and you go into the draw for that boat worth $35,000 full of product. And that would be a great thing to win for Christmas. So this does get drawn, I think it is in about a bit over a month's time. 30th November is when it ceases, so it'll be drawn around that period, just after maybe. So a great comp to be in. It's available at any Tackle World store around Australia. So that's about it. Just to let you know too, our next seminar is on next Thursday night. I think it's the 31st actually. It's when Stuart gets back. He'll be nice and tired. And it tells plenty of his stories. But we're doing it on catching yellowfin tuna out wide. And obviously it'll work the same and close too, but obviously the bigger tuna out wide. Using stick baits and poppers, and also trolling skirts as well. And yeah, it'll be a great night. So if you're into wanting to catch a big tuna, like a big yellowfin, 30 to 60 kilos, 70 kilo on a stick bait rod, or even the jig. Jigs work fine too. We'll throw a bit of jigging as well, or trolling skirts around off the Gold Coast and off Brisbane. That's the night for you. So it's not tonight. I'm doing this on Thursday night, the 24th. It's on the 31st. Okay, 31st of October, and that's a seminar on catching yellowfin tuna. Okay, I think that's about it. So I've done the wrap. Okay, don't forget to follow us and tell your friends about our YouTube page, Facebook page, and please subscribe and like, whatever it is. And look forward to catching you over the next week. It's Dougie Burt from Dougie Burt's Tackle World. Over and out. See you.